G'day, it's Jason here from In Search of Australia. In this episode, I'm fishing on Sydney Harbour in my childhood fishing area, Neutral Bay. I'm going to be here twice on the outgoing and incoming tides, so 2 different days mixed together, and we'll see which delivers the best results. Neutral Bay is just off the north end of the harbour bridge to the right, and I'm going to base myself at Anderson Park, right at the end point of the bay. The species I've got here before has ranged from whiting, bream, flathead, slimy mackerel, tailor in winter. In fact, I caught so many tailor here, it's made me not keep fish since, because it was a case of I kept them all and we didn't eat any. So I felt guilty for that, I guess. And ever since, I've been a catch and release fisherman. So the area has this rock wall. It goes down to a bit of a sandbank, and then there's a rock line where they've dredged here a very long time ago, and the dredging is obviously for these cruisers that come in, so it gets quite deep, not far out, and you'll find there's lots of fish around the wharf area there too. The trick is not to cast your line onto the boats. Well, it appears I'm getting baited straight away, so I'm just going to have to change tactic, because they're obviously feeding on this before I even feel them. Could be lots of small fish, I'm afraid. Now, I forgot my sunglasses. As a kid, I didn't wear sunglasses, so you can imagine this is what I was staring at quite often when I was here. I think it's resulted in a bit of surfer's eye. If you don't know what that is, it's where you get a little bit of skin growth over your eye. I'm really regretting not having sunnies. Little whiting. So it looks like I've got to weigh the bait down and slowly retrieve it to get the fish. Hello, dog. Now, a big issue I've got at the moment is the size of these prawns. If you can get Hawkesbury prawns, they'll be a lot smaller and you can fit a whole prawn on a hook, but the size of the hook that would take that is way bigger than anything that's going to be here, maybe other than a flathead. So, little red bream or juvenile snapper. Just get him off the hook and then I'll show you. Oop. There you'll see I've got that nice blue spot, and he'll eventually get very big, unless someone keeps him, and I hope people don't keep undersized fish. He can go back in. Friend visiting here looking for my bait. You're going to go for it. No, you don't. Go away. I'm seeing bream all swimming around these areas, but they're just not really going for the bait. Nice big fan-bellied leather jacket. really struggling. You can get blue swimmer crabs. Now I don't have my net, but there he is. See if I can get him up closer. It's just a case of they don't want to let go of the food. It's not hooked at all, but it just doesn't want to let go of the food. So you can slowly drag them in. I'm just getting it for you to show. I'll probably let go and swim away. But if I had a net, I'd be able to get him. There you go, let go. Nice sized blue swimmer crab. So the unweighted bait was the way to go. What I've got is I've cast out with no sinker and I've just let it go slack. And so I'm waiting for the line to look like it's heading out, and then I'll take the rod up and hopefully hook it. The bigger brim will really run. They won't just sort of tap at it, they'll just take it and take off. I'm on. On 30 centimetres. It's not bad. It's going to go back to get bigger. You always get toadfish. And lift them out of the water without hooking them. No fear. If you're wondering what a toadfish is, it's a pufferfish. So I am seeing surface activity every once in a while. Hard to capture on camera at this time of the morning. But you can see the tide's right down. It should be coming in at this point. So first fish of the second session, a little whiting. There's lots of movement out here. Whoa, just watched a mullet jump. And then there was a massive raucous of mullet over out that way. So I'm not sure whether they're just all excited or there's actually fish going for them. Once again, unweighted bait. Baited again. On. And another red brim, or pinky, or juvenile snapper, whichever one you want to call it. When I fished here as a young tacker, all these little areas here actually had the holes still there, and you'd be able to put your rods in. But they've since filled them out, unfortunately. So I'm using the bucket. That was a bigger one, but I was not really ready to strike on it. I'm just realising how much of a privilege it was growing up here. Just sort of having this environment to come down and fish in, seeing sunrises like this. Really sort of peaceful environment. Lots of wildlife, as you can hear. Well, by no means rich. In fact, think we struggled quite a lot. But it just happened to be that the lower North Shore was one of these ignored areas, and I count myself very lucky. There's some major mullet action happening. They're very big and just leaping out of the water. Haven't seen them near the shore though. After this one, it's only going to be a montage. I just keep getting baited by the leather jackets. So what I've done is I've gone down to a much smaller hook. I'll just put some prawn on it. And the idea is that they'll just swallow the hook with its being much smaller, and you don't need a lot of bait either. So that's what I'm going to try. Changing to the smaller hook paid off. There's a fan belly leather jacket, 30 centimeters long. You can eat them, as unappealing as they look. I'm going to return this one. They do look quite beautiful. This massive bit here. The spike's not actually poisonous, but you know, still could get you. This time, 32 centimeters, a little bit bigger. Looks older too. A little break in the spike there.
Oh, yeah, he's happy with it. Yeah, he wants it.
This one's 32 again. Or was it 31? And no, yep, 32 centimeters.
32 centimeters.
I'm now reliving my childhood by catching lots of leather jackets. That one's 26.5 centimeters. I can say with certainty as a kid, I did not heed that warning. It's interesting. Blackfish swimming up the channel. You can see why, because there's little oyster beds growing in here. Looks like a brim there. Mostly blackfish though. So Anderson Park still delivers. It's a hidden gem in Sydney Harbour that really does deliver a variety of species. I'm assuming this is a baby brush toque. Just a note, if you're going to fish here on a weekday in the morning, there's no parking here because this becomes a main road for getting into the city. So there you have it, that's Anderson Park at Neutral Bay. Upcoming tide and outgoing tide both produce fish. However, I stayed until the tide got as high as possible and everything went off the bite, as you'd expect. You always want movement in the water. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll be seeing you out near Oberon in the next episode.